pastors, please don't do this to your musicians. A lot of times what churches do is they do what is called a bait and switch. A bait and switch is basically a fishing term or a phrase. When you're fishing, you put bait on the hook. Then you throw it into the water, and then when the fish grabs the food, you pull it out of the water and you end up killing the fish, right? So the fish assumes that it's getting a free meal or getting a good meal or a good deal. But by the time the fish gets out of the water, before you know it, the fish is dead. The fish is disadvantaged, right? So if you're a musician, imagine that you are the fish in this scenario. This has happened to me multiple times, right? Some churches learn from it and they change, but some just continue to get worse and worse. And I pray that more churches will learn from this and change, because it can be very dangerous for their reputation. I'm not going to name any churches, obviously, but sometimes a church would tell me, hey, come on our team. We want you to play for us full time. And I'll tell them, okay, are you going to be able to support me, right? And then we will agree on an amount. And I will assume that this is the amount they'll be paying me, until I decide that, hey, I might need something else, or, things like that. Or maybe until they tell me that they need to change some things, right? But sometimes what they do is they don't even tell you before they make the switch, because the bait is the agreement that you made. The bait is that agreement that you made that, hey, this is how much they will be giving you, right? The switch can come in different ways, and this is how it has happened for me. At times, you don't even get a notification. You just see that the money that they are supposed to be giving you has suddenly reduced. It can be a little reduction, like maybe less, maybe like $50 less every week, right? And then you'll be like, what's going on, right? Then you go ask them, what happened? I thought we agreed on this amount, right? And then they might start telling you like, yes, we know that we agreed, but right now we have a lot of things that we are trying to accomplish. They will start telling you about the goals that they have as a church. And sometimes it's a trap, because it's basically them trying to abuse what they were supposed to uphold. A lot of times, these pastors and these church leaders already knew that they were going to reduce your money. And the worst part about this whole thing is when they don't tell you ahead of time when they are about to reduce the money. Some will actually have the courtesy and the respect and the honor to tell you like, hey, I know we agreed on this amount, but we're going to have to reduce it to this amount because we have this and this and that going on that we need to handle, right? Some will not even tell you. And I'm not saying this to knock down any church, and I already said I'm not going to mention any names. But I want us all to learn from this. As musicians, you need to have leverage. If possible, have other means of income. It can be other musical opportunities. It can be something that has nothing to do with music, right? Don't put all your eggs in one basket unless that basket has been proven. Because I can't just say don't put all your eggs in one basket, because I put all my eggs in Jesus. Jesus is my Lord and Savior, my only Lord and Savior, right? And he has been proven to be that. So I'm telling you, don't put all your eggs in one basket as it pertains to your music career, as it pertains to where you go to work, because things like this happen more than you know, especially with musicians, especially because a lot of times music work is not like government work. So there are some things that may be twisted here and there. Some things may be a little bit misused if you're not careful. So I want us all to start to be more careful as musicians and as leaders in the church. Start to be more direct, honest, and upfront and transparent. Because yes, the church may have needs, but the musician also has needs. The musician also has to take care of his life and his family. The musician also needs money to go to the store, to get groceries and such important things that they need in life, right? So, like I said, the ways that you can avoid the bait and switch is that check the reputation. I didn't mention this earlier, but I'll mention it now. Check the reputation of a place before you go to the place, no matter how good the deal is. I don't care if a church is offering you $15,000 a month to play for them. Check your reputation before you accept. And also pray, trust God, listen to the voice of God. You know, for those that are Christians, and I believe we should all be Christians, you know, listen to the voice of God. And even if it seems like everything makes sense, if God is telling you don't go, then you shouldn't go. And definitely have other means of income. It can be that you are a full-time musician that has multiple music opportunities, or it can be that you are a musician that has other things that they do that makes them money. But just have other means of income other than one place, especially if that place has not been proven. I hope this helps you, and I pray that the pastors also, you will learn to work with your musicians and value them. A lot of pastors still do not value musicians, even in our time and day. And even, you know, coming from an African background, a lot of African pastors, they see musicians as people that are idle, people that don't want to be literate, or don't want to study, or don't want to go to school, and don't want to do anything useful with their lives. They don't value good music. They don't think about what it takes, or they don't know what it takes to produce good music. Whether you're a drummer, keyboardist, aux player, guitarist, violinist, saxophonist, a lot of people don't know how hard it is to be great at these instruments. And sadly, a lot of pastors don't know. So I'm just hoping that pastors can watch this and they can also understand how not to be, and how also to be for musicians. So they can understand that the bait and switch method is not of God, and they need to stop. Because, I mean, even if you want to change the amount, it's better you tell the musician before you change it. But some don't even tell you at all. They let you find out that the amount has been reduced once you see your paycheck. So I hope that we all learn from this. And musicians, remember, trust God, have other options, okay? I'm not saying have other options apart from God, but have other options, you know, that God has blessed you with. And for pastors, honor your musicians, value them, because music is not easy. I promise you, it is not easy. It takes a lot to be a great musician. Please share this video with musicians and pastors. God bless you. Have a great day.